Hey there everybody, my name is Heretoga and welcome back to our short creative mode chisel series where we just relax and chill in creative mode with no hassle, no hunger or thirst, just straight up chiseling. And we are creating a Tile Wars game. Now if you want to see the earlier episodes, go check out the playlist and you can watch from the top of the list. Now we've been working on the grass biome deck, and as you can see we've got quite the collection here, and in the last episode we made this forest tile set here, the redwood trees, and we created a floating island as well. We have a bunch more floating island tiles now as well, like I said I would do. It's pretty much the same process as what I did for this one here. So you haven't really missed much, it's just the same process. We can do some sand ones together as well, because that is the next deck we're going to be working on, is the sand tiles deck. Now, I'll give you new people a quick run through of all the sets here, okay? We have the path tiles, and they're in Tetris shapes. We have a cross, a line, a corner and a T-junction and a blank. And then it's the same with the trees, right? All these tree sets are the same. We have a cross of trees, a line, a corner, a T-junction and a full tile of trees. Now this set here is oak and maple. Over here we have pine trees, and then these are the redwood trees. And we also have the river pieces. They're the same as the path tile pieces. And the reason why they're in that shape is because when players take in turns placing down these tiles, they can rotate them and join them together. Just same with the rivers and the trees, the paths. We also have some landmass pieces, like the blank tile here. So we've got some hills and craters, and we've got a variation of those hills next to it, and then we've also got some water bodies like little ponds and little lakes as well. But we also have the ocean tiles set, this row here. So we have the blank tile, which is just water, and then to connect the grass to the water we have these four pieces here. So we have the side, and we also have a side with a river entrance, so you can connect the rivers to the oceans. And we have the outside corner and the inside corner. And these pieces are so that you can connect the water and the grass together. And we have two variations of this set right here. And these have bold cypress trees in the water. So we've pretty much got the grass tile set done. Water and grass can connect to each other, but we need to figure out a way of connecting the sand and the grass together now. And I've already done a little bit of preparation work, so I've made sand tile versions of this set right here. So it's just like connecting the water and the grass together. I've made these pieces sand version so that we can connect the sand and the grass together, and I've done that inside the castle because making the sand tiles out here you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing that well. So I prepared the flooring inside Anakin Castle so we don't have a sand floor in here anymore, and I've placed down some lanterns to try and curb the monster spawns a little bit walking across our faces while we're trying to chisel. So here we have the two sets. I forgot I did the water version as well. Because if we check out the map, look, in the sandy areas in the world, we don't really have oceans in the sand areas. I'm going to call them biomes for simplicity's sake. Instead, we have large bodies of water in the sand biomes. There's different sand biomes, by the way, for people that are new to Vintage. We don't just have normal sand, we also have claystone sand, we have granite sand, we have limestone sand as well. There's different types, right? So yeah, as you can see on the map though, it's mostly grass. After grass, second to that is mostly water, and then we've got different patches of other biomes. So we're gonna work on connecting the grass and the sand together, just like we did with the water and the grass. So I've made these pieces here. So we've got to start inside corners, outside corners, the edges, and then the river entrances. Of course, this is the grass tile. Maybe I could turn that into a path, perhaps, because we'll go look at the path pieces. Yeah, the paths are in the middles of these sides. So, and for the path though, I used peridotite cobblestone because you can't use the path block as a texture for chiseling with, so I picked the next best block that looks very similar to the path block, and I chose peridotite cobblestone. So we could just have a look at that now quick. Let's find the path, the stone path, and we'll get peridotite cobblestone, which is on here somewhere. There it is. If we look at them both, very, very similar. It's as close as I can get. So that's what the path is made out of. Now then. Now, in the Sand Biome Deck, we're not really going to have tree tiles like this because you don't really get forests in the sandy areas. You get them, you do get trees, but they're dotted around, but you normally get the forests on the sides of the sandy areas where the grass is, so we don't really have so many tiles to make for the sand deck. And we have the blank tile here, which I should place down. That is the blank tile. Alright, so we have some hills to make, so what I'm going to do is clear off my hotbar and probably we'll take these 4, but I'm not going to do them the same. Probably just use them for reference, right? So this can be our work area here. So place these down. Probably spread them out actually, like this. Yeah, these lanterns kind of getting in the way. It's hard to light up a large area. Especially when the ceiling is quite tall as well. Might have to move that lantern there. Let's put you there, out of the way. Alright, so if I grab one of these, I'm going to put them in the air so that I can walk around it. So I want to do at least 4 hill tiles. And it's not as difficult as you might think, so let's go from large to small, right? So we're just gonna wait, what's going on here? There we go. We're just gonna randomly go around in a circle bumpy shape like this, and then if we zoom in, we can fill up all the gaps. So when you've done this enough, you kind of learn some techniques that can save you a lot of trouble. Okay, now we filled in the gaps, but we don't want any sharp corners like this, so we could just punch away that bit. Okay, I think that's okay. So now what we could do is just fill it in. Now it's quite difficult to see sand on sand, so if I keep walking around it, you'll see the shadows, and you'll be able to see where the voxels are. There we go. I have to take a walk around there. It's a nice flat hill, right? But we're going to make a big one, so we could do the same process. Just kind of hold down the button, go around, and then fill in the edges. And you could work on the shape after you filled in the edges. Okay, there we go, and then just take a look around, make sure there's no sharp corners like this, these right angle corners, you don't want those. So you could even chisel away one more, there we go. Just add a little bit more on the top. Like this. So if you've been out in the world enough in Vintage, you'll kind of get used to how Vintage Story generates the world. Okay, so we've got our first big hill. Now these hills are going to be basic, right, to begin with, but we're going to do a second variation of them, like we did with the hills for the grass biome. But instead of having loads of bushes and shrubs, we're just going to have the odd tree and the odd bush, right, because it's not as dense with vegetation in the desert area. So okay, so now we'll do another hill. We'll just go around, just don't even think about the shape, just go with the flow. There we go. Sometimes winging it is the best method to make a start, because you can improve on your design. Okay, now let's take a walk around. Yeah, there's a sharp corner here, but we can add sand there, like so. We don't always have to take material away. And then probably have another patch on the top here. Like that. Okay, it's very bright, isn't it? If I take off my angel belt, then it's too dark even with the lanterns here, so can't really win with the lighting, but I'll keep my belt off for the moment because I think this does look better. Now I could add just carve away a bit here and just have a little crater in this one. Just replace this polished sandstone with sand. There we go. Okay, so we've got another hill already. See, we're flying through this already, aren't we? Now this one, we could have like a hill in the corner, and then we could have another hill in the other corner, just a little one, right? Okay, just refine the edges here, like so. And this is something you can do in survival mode. Add a little bit of land there. Maybe this one though, we could add like a little fissure into the ground, like so. And then replace all this polished sandstone with sand. There we go, like that. Yeah, I think that's okay. Probably add a little bit on top of there. Alright, so we've got 3 already. Wow. Alright. Now we're just going to have little bits on this one, because this ain't going to be a big one. So we're just going to higgledy-piggledy do it like that. Yeah, it's a real technique. Higgledy-piggledy. Okay. I like to zoom in while I'm chiseling sometimes. It just helps. If you don't have the zoom mod, you should go and get it. If you do a lot of chiseling, the zoom mod really does help. And then in the description of all my videos, I always show what mods I use, so you can go and get the same ones if you want to. Okay, there we go. Let's add a bit there. You know what, I'm going to build up this corner here. I hear voices. Oh, there he is. Where the heck did he just come from? I looked. Okay, he just walked through the wall. Damn. Okay, there we go. So we've got 4 hills, and they're not the same as these grass ones. So I can punch these away now, because we don't need them. And instead, I can just put my angel belt in there. So I need more space on the hotbar. So I can place these. I'll place them down here. There we go. Bing. In fact, I should have kept that. Yeah, let's keep that, actually. Because we're going to do a second variation of these now. So let's go and see what trees are around outside. Okay, so we've got pine and birch. Now, I haven't done any birch trees yet. But it is mostly pine trees, and there's a couple of bushes. It's just like the odd bush, like... I'm struggling to find another one. Yeah, there's some leafy bushes over there. Okay. Let's clear off my hotbar here. Okay, we're going to need hereditite rock. But we want to add the odd birch tree, don't we? So... where is it? The debarked birch log, there it is. Okay. Okay, so we're going to add this texture in, well, both of these textures. Now I would use the actual log, the proper tree log, as a texture. Well, the thing is, when you use it as a texture, unless you're chiseling right to the edges, you'll never see the tree bark. You'll only see the inside of the log. So that's why I always use the debarked logs as textures here. We do have access to the colour palette too, so we could, if we wanted to or needed to, change the colour of the trees, the tree trunks. Okay, so let's we'll pick the debarked birch log and we'll just add a tree. Now, normal trees are 8 blocks tall, so just add some leaves here now. I've had a lot of practice doing these trees from previous episodes. Do a bottom bit there. There we go, alright. Now then, I'm going to copy this because we're going to experiment here with a colour palette. So I think the debarked birch logs, I'm not too sure about it because they're kind of white, aren't they? So we could change the colour of the trunks. Yeah. bit like that. Is there a... maybe Creative Block 77 could use. It's a little bit between white and grey. And then for the leaves, I'm not quite sure about the leaves. Because birch tree leaves are quite bright, aren't they? I've tried to use these basic colours before for leaves. So... okay, well, actually, though... you know what? I think that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad at all. Which colour was that? 8? Okay, 8 is better, actually. So white 77 and green 8. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll just go with it. We'll just go with it. We could add a pine tree on the next one, maybe. So we're going to need to get rid of this. In fact, I'll put this log in here with the other logs. There we go. It's redwood. Why don't we have a pine log here? There it is. So we've got the pine. Yep, okay. Now the pine trees, they were, how tall were these? Let's see. Yeah, they were 8 blocks tall as well. Okay. Okay, so let's put that pine log there. We'll do it right on the top in the middle. Okay, there we go. Now, what colour did I use for this? Okay, it was that colour, right. So we need to change the colour of the leaves to this one here. There we go, one pine tree. Okay. Now let's punch away that, we'll copy this, place it there. There we go. Let's clear these off. Alright. Okay. Now I'm going to add in the pine log to that one as well. So I'm probably going to add both of those logs to all of these hills here. There we go. Now these two, I'm thinking we could have the odd bush in these ones. So, because the desert is quite sparse of vegetation, isn't it? So we can't go too ham on the bushes. Yeah, we could add like a big bush there, maybe a small one. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a second variation of the hills already. So let's get those placed down as well. We'll just copy all these. We're going to put them up here, like so, and then we can get rid of these. Okay, so we're getting the collection already. So we've got the blank tile, we've got 2 sets there and 2 sets there, so we've got 4 sets for the sand deck already. Now we could do a third variation of these, but saying that, we need to do craters next, because we've done hills. Yeah, we need craters. Well, let's get a bunch of blank tiles here. We'll do some craters. Just the same process as making the hills, except instead of adding material, you just kind of taking the material away. Okay, like so. So let's take all this away. Just like making lakes, except there's no water in it. Now, before we change the bottom, let's just go around the edge and make sure that we're happy with the shape that we have. So we could go like this. Okay. Take that bit away. Oops. Okay, I think that's okay. We'll soon see when we add sand in the bottom. So I've got to chisel out all of this. In fact, I can use the bigger grade for the middles. There we go, that saved a lot of trouble. Chisel all those out. There we go, and we just add in sand. Okay, one crater. Well, that can just be a basic large crater for now. I'll leave that for now. But how about the meteorite ones? So let's go and get a meteorite block. We'll add it into this. Right, and we'll just put this back. That to be nice and organised. And we're going to mimic a crater here. So we're going to have the gap of 4 and then go around the sides. Right, but we're going to have a big one. So let's go around the sides again. Take away the corners. It's still not big enough. Let's do another one. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. So, the same process, take away the bottom. And fill it in with sand. Okay, there we go. Now, take the meteor here. Probably just do like a 3, and then a 1. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay, but we can refine that tile and make it look better. Yeah, I think that's okay. Now I'm thinking we could copy this one here. Right. Just do a variation of this one, so we could add some sand. Okay, and we could just add a little edge down there, like so. Could even fill it in a little bit more. like that. Probably add a little bit up here. Like so. There we go. Then we could change the shape of this side and just fill it in a bit more, like probably to here. Like this. There we go. There we go, and it does not look the same as this one now. Now we have 3. Which just leaves one more. One more. We could have like a long, thin crater. We could even take away some of the edge a little bit. Okay, now let's check shape. Yeah, it's alright. We'll just take away a bit of the edges here. Like this. There we go. Keep a little bit of land in the middle, maybe? Yeah. Alright, now I've got to replace the bottom with sand. There we go. Alright. So, we've got some crater tiles as well as the hill tiles. I still feel that we need to improve this crater here. I mean, it's okay to have it flat. Maybe we can do a second version of it. Yes, let's do that. Do a second version. And this one can be a smaller crater, so let's fill in those corners. Like this. And then we can add some land around it. Like this, maybe? Yeah, we can just fill it in a bit around the edges. Like this. I know it looks horrible right now, but you'll see the magic unfold. Just get this tidied up a little bit. Okay, let's fill in these gaps. Okay, now then, let's go up to there. Let's tidy up this bit. Probably make a big bit there. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think. Let me know what you guys think. You get rid of that bit. Probably add in. Yeah, we could add a raised bit of meteor there. I think that looks good. Okay. Alright, well, let's clear off the hotbar. Alright, so we've got another set of pieces now. So let's get these placed down. Okay. Let's get rid of those. We have this one, which is a variation of that one there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets. We have 5 sets for the desert biome already, and that's fantastic. It definitely needs more tiles, this deck does. Yeah, so I think I'll leave it here for now then, folks, but look what we have. 5 sets of tiles for the Sandstone Biome deck already. That's fantastic. This one's got a meteorite crater as well, look. So I think we've done well already. That's a good start. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to leave it here and we'll carry on with this next time. And if you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, share, comment and subscribe. And for all you that have been subscribing lately and clicking that like button, thank you so much. It's always nice to see the channel grow because of you guys, and it shows that you enjoy this. So thank you ever so much, guys. I really do appreciate all of you. And I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.